What's missing in this reality is the divine feminine. Through my growing over the last 10 years, I've come to understand that power, and how it fits in sort of the whole puzzle here of this experience on Earth, and probably universal, I'm assuming, as well. The divine feminine is the creative force here. It is the divine feminine that leads from the heart and always strives to create in the direction of love. I guess that's the best way I can describe it. But in when I say in love, I think about a mother, tiger, and a cub, and how that cub gets corrected sometimes very abruptly, and you're like, wow, it's the thing about that entity, that consciousness right there, that lion and that lioness and the cub, is that they're just being in their absolute true nature. And that's what we humans don't do, right? We move away from that. So we now deem actions like that as abusive, when really it's from a complete space of love of this mother tiger for the cub, and is totally committed. And I would say that, yes, we think that humans, we are committed, but we're probably not that committed. So again, I'm going to go back that it's sort of a focusing on the totality of the state of beingness at that time, not just a myopic human view, right? Does that make sense? It's just a much broader and a much more all-encompassing thought process and action and reaction and all that. So these three divine females that have surrounded me in my life over the last 10 years have brought a whole different state of understanding and a whole different state of execution, and not, and I'm going to say even as far as thought. So yes, I'll just leave. I won't leave it at that. It is our thoughts that count, because by the time it already comes to words, it doesn't matter what you say, or even if it doesn't come to words and it just rattles in your brain, which we all think, well, then as long as we don't say anything. That's not the case, actually. This is a very smart game, and it registers at the thought. So we're just led to believe, brainwashed and believe, that as long as we don't say it or do it, then there's no foul. Well, yeah, there is. Yeah. Actually, there's a bigger one, because now what you're doing is you're pretending it didn't matter when actually it really did. So now you're racking up points on the other side to the negative on you. So if you sort of see how that works. So yeah, it's really our thoughts that count. So, but these three have led from example. That's how I've come to just be in such awe with all three of them, is that they don't demand of me. I get great knowings, I get wonderful teachings. I get picked up like that little cub once in a while. By all three of them have done it to me. So, and I don't take offense to it at all, because I'm looking at this thing as a 360, right? These are my guides. I'm not going to question. So, if that's what I'm saying, I will take these three anywhere, because there's just absolutely zero doubt. May make mistakes, but there's no doubt on their full intention. If you understand what I'm saying. So it's through these three that I've come to learn and grow, and I've been able to truly create in this experience. And it's It's amazing. Now, I will tell you this. It is tiring. And the reason I say that is that you really almost never say no to anything that's supposed to be. And there's a lot of supposed to be's right now. So, and it's only getting more difficult to execute inside this space right now. It's a little exhausting, yes? And so it is not, for a weak heart to jump in and say, I'm going to support it from this divine feminine perspective in this reality and creating this reality to sort of those guidelines, and get rid of the limits and get rid of the, the roadblocks and get rid of the, I don't know, whatever else you need to do to get in touch with that side that's like, everything is a possibility if you want something to happen, and if you're of the light. Anyway, but we're in a reality that's the complete opposite of that. It is very, think about it, it's very, the divine masculine, divine masculine's role is to build, hold, support, and defend this sort of creative beingness from the divine feminine side. It really is the divine feminine that is to establish and set sort of the direction, the path, the rules of engagement, the vision. That is where the divine feminine comes in. And if you think about where we are right now, we're not creating at all. All we're doing is creating chaos. Absolutely crazy chaos right now, right? So there is a reason that the divine feminine has been held at bay. It's the creative force that solves problems. And guess what we're not doing? We're not solving any problems, are we? So can you see how the divine feminine is missing? It's amazing, isn't it? Peace and love to all. Aye, Asher, aye.